give it to you right now. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Hallelujah. 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 Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I ask you to go to Ezekiel chapter 33. Ezekiel 33. When you get it, say amen. And if you would stand in the presence of a holy God. He is indeed here. He is indeed here. He is indeed here. Ezekiel 33. Hallelujah. God's message came to me. Son of man, speak to your people. Tell them, if I bring war on this land and the people take one of their citizens and make him their watchman, and if the watchman sees war coming, if the watchman sees war coming and blows the trumpet, warning the people, then if anyone hears the sound of the trumpet and ignores it, and war comes and takes him off, it's his own fault. He heard the alarm, he ignored it. It's his own fault. If he had listened, he would have saved his life. But if the watchman sees war coming and doesn't blow the trumpet, warning the people, and war comes and takes anyone off, I'll hold the watchman responsible for the bloodshed of any unwarned sinner. You, son of man, are the watchman. I've made you a watchman for Israel. The minute you hear a message from me, warn them. If I say to the wicked, wicked man, wicked woman, you're on the fast track to death, and you don't speak up and warn the wicked to change their ways, the wicked will die unwarned in their sins, and I'll hold you responsible for their bloodshed. But if you warn the wicked to change their ways, and they don't do it, they'll die in their sins, well warned, and at least you will have saved your own life. Son of man, speak to Israel. Tell them, you said our rebellions and sins are weighing us down. We're wasting away. How can we go on living? Tell them, as sure as I am the living God, I take no pleasure from the death of the wicked. I want the wicked to change their ways and live. Turn your life around. Reverse your evil ways. Why die, Israel? There's more, son of man. Tell your people a good person's life won't save him when he decides to rebel. And a bad person's life won't prevent him from repenting of his rebellion. A good person who sins can't expect to live when he chooses to sin. It's true that I tell good people, live, be alive. But if they trust in their good deeds and turn to evil, that good life won't amount to a hill of beans. They'll die for their evil life. On the other hand, if I tell a wicked person, you'll die for your wicked life, and he repents of his sin and starts living a righteous, just life, being generous to the down and out, restoring what he has stolen, cultivating life-nourishing ways that don't hurt others, he'll live. He won't die. None of his sins will be kept on the books. He's doing what's right, living a good life. He'll live. Your people say the master's way isn't fair, but it's the way they're living that isn't fair. When good people turn back from living good lives and plunge into sins, they'll die for it. And when a wicked person turns away from his wicked life and starts living a just and righteous life, he'll come alive. Still, you keep on saying, the master's way isn't fair. We'll see, Israel. I'll decide on each of you exactly how to live, according to how you live. Tell them, Ezekiel, verse 27. Tell them this is Ezekiel. The message of God, the Master. As sure as I am the living God, those who are still alive in the ruins will be killed. Anyone's out of the field, I'll give to wild animals for food. Anyone hiding out in the mountain forts and caves will die of disease. I'll make this country an empty wasteland. No more arrogant bullying. Israel's mountains will become dangerously desolate. No one will dare pass through them. They'll realize that I am God when I devastate the country. Because of all of the obscenities they've practiced. As for you, son of man, you become quite the talk of the town. Your people meet on street corners and in front of their houses and say, let's go hear the latest news from God. They show up as people tend to do and sit in your company. They listen to you speak, but don't do a thing you say. They flatter you with compliments, but all they care about is making money and getting ahead. To them, you're merely entertainment. A country singer of sad love songs playing a guitar. They love to hear you talk, but nothing comes of it. But when all this happens, and it's going to happen, they'll realize that a prophet was among them. Amen. This is the reading of the Word of God. Amen. Amen. As I was studying for this message, thank you. As I was studying for this message, I remembered a dream I had several years ago. I was sitting on the sofa in front of the TV watching the news in the dream, and I saw a weather forecast. Now, if you paid attention to the news, weather usually moves from west to east. It kind of moves in this direction. But in my dream, all the weather began in Washington, D.C., and it moved west in a rapid pace. This was very alarming to me in my dream, and I felt like I needed to share this. Do you all remember, like, when it's really bad news outside, or when it's bad weather? There's a ticker tape that goes across the bottom of the news screen. Mm-hmm. Or you'll have that weird noise. Mm-hmm. This message is a storm warning. There is a storm on the horizon. Please prepare while there is still time. My husband and I are both from Mobile, and one thing that we're very familiar with is stormy weather. Where the rest of the country nods with familiarity when you mention Katrina, Sandy, Harvey, and Maria, I remember some doozies called Camille and Frederick. And to a lesser degree, Opal, and a myriad of other forgettable hurricanes that fizzled into hurricane parties and days off work and school out. Similarly, I'm sure you remember Snowmageddon, the derecho, and other winters with blizzard-like conditions, as well as winter busts, like last year when we barely got a day out from a snow day. In all of these situations, we received some type of storm warning from the National Weather Service, or NOAA, NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, as well as local news and national weather. This message is a storm warning. There is a storm on the horizon. Please prepare while there is still time. Last week I was showing my students a video, and in the video it included information about Hurricane Katrina. And one of the questions that inevitably come up whenever I give this lesson that I teach, well, why didn't the people just leave or evacuate when the weather announcers told them to? Well, the short answer is the people really didn't think it was going to be as bad as they said it would. They had been through this multiple times before, and it had never happened to them. Even recently, a couple of weeks ago, they told us, get ready, it's going to snow. And it really didn't do anything over here. Not over here it didn't, but in other places, it happened just like they said it would. Mm-hmm. It is up to us to be prepared for the worst. Amen. Whenever, if ever, it comes. Amen. The same is true in the Bible and in the body of Christ, except this but a win. All right now. One of the things that we must do regularly, according to God's word, is remember where we came from. Amen. There are various forms of a quote that says those who fail to learn from history are condemned to repeat it. Y'all have heard something similar to that before. Amen. If you check your history, every major civilization failed with similar traits. Whether it was Babylon, Greece, Rome, they all failed with very similar traits, behaviors, and situations. The Lord snatched Israel off their land twice because of certain situations. Let's go back and talk about that for a second. Now, in the garden, God gave specific directions, did he not? Amen. He said, if you do this, I'm going to do this. Amen. Disobedience caused us the loss of our state. Amen. Amen. Now, once we came out of Egypt, because God told Abraham up front, he said, now your people going to go into Egypt for 400 years. They're going to go through all this. But when we came out of Egypt, in Deuteronomy chapter 28, God, through Moses, told the children of Israel to be obedient. If you are obedient, you get blessed. If you're disobedient, you get cursed. Amen. Your choice. Amen. The collective nation chose, and they chose a king instead of God. We started their downward spiral. First, the nation split. Then Israel went into captivity. Then Judah went into captivity. But God, in his infinite mercy, he allowed them to go back to the land that he had taken them off of and try all over again. He gave them a clean slate. Go back, try it again. They rebuilt the temple. They rebuilt the wall. They rebuilt their religion. But they didn't rebuild their relationship with God. By the time Jesus showed up, fulfilling every Old Testament promise, every one of them, they couldn't even recognize them. They couldn't even recognize their own God.